What happens when the biggest name in children's television suddenly disappears? Why did Nickelodeon part ways with Dan Schneider, the man behind some of the most beloved shows of the 2000s? And why is he now talking about making a comeback? For nearly 2 decades, Dan Schneider was the undisputed king of Nickelodeon. From All That and The Amanda Show to Drake and Josh, Zoey 101, iCarly, and Victorious, his influence on children's television was unmatched. He was the driving force behind some of the most iconic shows of the late 90s and early 2000s, defining a generation's humor and storytelling. Schneider was so integral to Nickelodeon's success that in 2014, the network awarded him its first and only Lifetime Achievement Award. It was a moment of celebration, with stars like Victoria Justice praising him for changing not only their lives but also the entire landscape of kids' TV. And yet, just 4 years later, he was gone. In 2018, Nickelodeon and Schneider issued a vague joint statement announcing their separation. No controversy was mentioned, no scandal confirmed, just an abrupt, unexplained departure. He disappeared from the public eye almost overnight, retreating from social media and public appearances. His once active Twitter account went silent, and despite the statement hinting at new opportunities, he had no new projects in sight. Then, in 2021, Nickelodeon announced the reboot of iCarly, one of Schneider's biggest hits, without his involvement. This raised the question, why would Nickelodeon continue the legacy he built while cutting him out entirely? The mystery surrounding his departure deepened, with whispers, speculation, and internet rumors attempting to fill in the gaps. Now, years later, we have a clearer picture of what really happened behind the scenes, and why Schneider is talking about making a return to television. The investigation that ended it all. In 2018, at the height of the MeToo movement, ViacomCBS, the parent company of Nickelodeon, launched an internal review into Schneider's behavior. According to multiple sources, the investigation involved interviewing dozens of Nickelodeon employees, past and present, to assess Schneider's workplace conduct. The results were damning, though not in the way many expected. There was no evidence of sexual misconduct, but numerous employees described him as verbally abusive, short-tempered, and controlling. Former colleagues recalled walking on eggshells around him, fearful of his outbursts and temperamental mood swings. Some described him as a workaholic with impossibly high demands, expecting his staff to endure grueling 16 to 20-hour days, often spilling into weekends at his home. He sent angry emails, threw tantrums, and, according to several employees, fostered an environment of fear rather than collaboration. One particularly bizarre claim involved Schneider frequently asking a wardrobe assistant for neck and shoulder massages, a behavior that some staff members found inappropriate. Others noted that he often texted child actors outside of work hours, though Schneider himself denied any wrongdoing, stating that texting was simply the preferred mode of communication for his young cast members. The foot fetish rumors and internet scrutiny. While ViacomCBS's review didn't find evidence of criminal behavior, the internet had already begun to scrutinize Schneider's past work, leading to a wave of unsettling theories. Social media exploded with compilations of scenes from his shows, highlighting moments that, in hindsight, seemed to contain questionable humor. Many fans pointed to the frequent focus on feet in Schneider's shows, from iCarly to Victorious, where characters were often seen barefoot or engaging in odd, foot-related antics. Conspiracy theories emerged, with online sleuths claiming that Schneider had a foot fetish and had embedded his obsession into his shows. Clips resurfaced of cast members placing their feet in cameras, writing messages on their toes, and engaging in skits that, when viewed outside of their comedic context, seemed strangely fixated on children's feet. Schneider dismissed these rumors as absurd, stating that kids find feet funny and that there was never any inappropriate intent behind these gags. He blamed social media for spreading lies, calling it ridiculous, that people were trying to paint him as something sinister. But with the rise of the MeToo movement, Nickelodeon had no appetite for controversy, and the internet noise only put more pressure on the network to distance itself from him, a reputation built on creativity and control. Despite the allegations of a toxic workplace, even Schneider's critics acknowledged his undeniable talent. He had an ear for teen and tween dialogue, a knack for fast-paced comedic timing, and a deep understanding of what made kids laugh. His shows weren't just entertaining, they were cultural landmarks. The spaghetti tacos of iCarly, the dancing lobsters of The Amanda Show, and the over-the-top antics of Drake and Josh became defining moments of childhood for millions. Yvette Nicole Brown, who played Helen on Drake and Josh, described his writing style as having a musical cadence, a rhythm that made his sitcoms uniquely engaging. Tracy Katsky, a former Nickelodeon executive, credited him with being one of the few adults who truly understood how to write for kids. He avoided complex wordplay, knowing that younger audiences wouldn't grasp it, and instead focused on visual comedy and outrageous scenarios. But that same genius came with a price. Many who worked with Schneider described him as having a massive ego, needing to control every aspect of production. He insisted on overseeing even the smallest details and had little patience for those who questioned his vision. On set, he was known to be overbearing, sometimes to the point of pushing his staff to exhaustion. The downfall of a TV titan. By 2018, Nickelodeon was changing. The network was moving away from the old guard and looking to refresh its brand. Schneider, once its golden boy, had become more of a liability than an asset. With mounting allegations of a toxic work environment, growing internet speculation, and a changing entertainment landscape, ViacomCBS saw an opportunity to part ways without much explanation. And so, just like that, Schneider was out. He left with $7 million still owed on his contract and disappeared from Hollywood. While some of his former actors continued to support him, others, like iCarly star Jennette McCurdy, later spoke out about the dark side of Nickelodeon's culture, further fueling suspicions about Schneider's time at the network. A comeback in the works? After years in hiding, Schneider is now talking about making a return. In a rare interview, he claimed he spent the past few years focusing on personal matters, including losing over 100 pounds. He insisted that his departure from Nickelodeon wasn't due to scandal, but rather burnout, stating that producing 50 episodes a year had taken a toll. Whatever his next move is, it will undoubtedly be met with scrutiny. The entertainment industry has changed, and so has the way audiences view past creators. In the wake of increasing awareness about workplace abuse, power dynamics, and hidden scandals, Schneider's reputation may be too damaged for a true comeback. Still, one question remains. Will audiences embrace him again, or is his reign over children's television truly over? What do you think? Was Dan Schneider unfairly pushed out, or were his past actions too problematic to ignore? Should he be given another shot at TV, or has the industry moved on? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Hollywood Gossip Hour for more deep dives into the biggest scandals in entertainment.